I met these guys, and I picked up the double agent. They offered to let me take it and try it out. Then I called up Ken, and I said, I have a problem with your guitar. He said, what's the problem? And I said, the problem is I keep picking it up with the intention of playing other instruments as well, and I can't put it down. You know, if you guys would ever consider doing a signature model or something like that, I'm there. And then Joe got on the line, and Joe said,
yes.
So basically, with the first signature model, I had decided I was never going to use, at that point in my life, I was done with guitars with tremolos. A guitar that looked like the double agent, but had a Strat-style pickup in the neck, and we used a DiMarzio Fast Track for that. And your original humbucker in the bridge. And then the other thing that with all that I was really smitten with and still use all the time to this day is nobody else does the bass contour. I used to use the tone control a lot more than I do now, and even sometimes more than changing pickups. Hear how the top end stays in place, but you lose that. With the true out of phase. So you kind of get into James Brown, Veritone, or even Telecaster land with that. Out of phase, you get this. And you can also get that Brian May. And then, so the next iteration of it was, as well-mannered as I was trying to be, I really did need a tremolo.
Yeah, so it went to two rail hammers eventually.
Yep. Next one.
And I think it was a chisel set.
2012, Robert Smith asked me if I would join them for some summer dates. Then a couple of weeks into that, they asked me to join the band. So then I was in a band where, you know, they have a history of Jazz Masters and 335s and Bigsby style tremolos on Gretches and things like that. And I didn't have a guitar with a Bigsby on it. A friend of mine, Bill Nelson, who was in a band called Bebop Deluxe, and I played his 62 335, and the Bigsby had been so played in, so smooth, and had nice travel. Plus, I needed a Bigsby for, like, you know, I went through a bunch of springs and finally found a spring that worked. I FedExed the spring to you because I was afraid the spring was going to get lost, and after 2 months, I'd finally found the spring that worked.
The holy grail of Bigsby springs, apparently.
But it lets me do all that.
I took this spring and sent it to a manufacturer, I think in Ohio, and told them, you have to duplicate this exactly. So they sent us a couple prototypes, and they nailed it right out of the gate.
Yep.
And then we liked it so much, we ended up putting it on every Reverend that has a Bigsby.
It is now known as the Soft Touch.
The Soft Touch spring.
I wanted it to be I wanted something that was in the big semi-hollow camp, like maybe an Italian or a Hagstrom. I didn't want F-holes because I'd had a guitar that was like a 335 but didn't have F-holes, and I could play that at much higher volume, and the Cure is
no feedback.
The Cure is fucking loud on stage, so
that's why their hair is.
The other thing I added, because in particular there's one Cure song where my job before the solo is to go. I needed a kill switch, and I didn't want 2 volumes. And then the pickups, we start out with the chisels. Now we've got my signature pickups in it. But when you roll take the bass contour back, and take the volume back just a little bit. I mean, and that's through an amp without reverb or delay or anything. Of my 3 signature models, this is the one that I can do anything with. My friends and I, for years, have, when you've shown up to do a gig, you show up with 1 stomp box or no stomp boxes and a guitar and a cable and an amp, and you don't, no effects, you just, it's penknife and a book of matches, you know. That became known as dirt biking. You know, what'd you bring to that gig the other night? I dirt biked it. When I get done on the road, or if I've been doing a long series of sessions or working on an album, when I get home, I just play a 1 pickup guitar straight into the amp, and then I'll go and I'll play with friends of mine who are into that sound. That's their thing. You know, it's like more of a raw 1 pickup kind of scenario. It sounds to me acoustically when I play it like guitars that would normally have like a P90 in it. And then this is the custom RG pickup that Joe made for me. But we added the tremolo. So I can kind of show up with a coily cable and this guitar and just wind up the amp. I've got 14 guitars on the road with me, and all of them except the electric sitar and the 62 or 63 bass 6 are Reverend, and they're, you know, I mean, they're sitting in the storage locker right now, probably still in tune from the last gig we did. You know, and just the durability and the and the bright colors.